guys, want to see how to look like Lea Michele? Come with me and I'll show ya. I'm Candy Johnson, Condé Nast Entertainment's lead beauty contributor, and this season I'm doing pop star transformations. You're watching Beauty Recovered, Lea Michele. On the cover of Louder, Lea Michele went for a steamy and sultry look with a nude lip. For this look, I thought it would be fun to actually make my nose look more like Lea Michele's. This is going to require a little bit of special effects work. First, I'm going to take spirit gum and apply it to my nose. This is going to create a base for the wax I'm going to apply on top. Now with my spatula, I'm going to scoop out a little bit of my Plasto wax. I'm going to start by making a ball with my fingers. Then you gently want to press and push it down onto the skin. I keep a small dish of water next to me. That way, you can keep smoothing it out onto your skin. It makes sure that your fingers don't get sticky from all the wax. Then, just like you'd use other sculpting tools, you can use whatever you have lying around. I'm using a lipstick cap to actually form the round and curved shape of the nose. This entire nose process took 45 minutes. Now I'm just applying a darker color cream foundation in all the areas to shade my face similar to Lea's. At the sides of the chin, the hollows of the cheekbones, the temples, and up around the hairline. Now I'm just going to set all my foundation with a loose and translucent powder. I'm going to go back in with a matte bronzing color and my blush brush and go over the same areas where I applied the dark cream color to my face. I'm also going to do a little bit of shading and contouring onto the nose that we created earlier. I'm taking a flat eyeshadow brush and some kind of taupey light browns to chisel the side of my nose just a little bit more. The lighting in her album cover and the angle of her face makes her eye look very deep, dark, and smoky. To start off, I'm putting a light peachy nude color all over the lid up to the brow. I'm mixing a light taupey shimmer with a deeper red-brown shimmer color. Taking my dome-shaped smudgy brush, I'm going to the outer corner of the eyes and applying it right in the crease. This really gives that dimension and depth that her eye has in this photo. I'm taking a larger dome-shaped brush and really working that crease color and blending it up and outwards. This is the key to a smoky eye. Blending, blending, and always more blending. Then gently take your brush and just blend it onto the rest of the eyelid and in towards the crease. One great thing to always remember when you're doing a smoky eye is you always want to leave one spot of highlight. The area I like to leave highlighted is the inner corner of the eye. That's going to make you look doe-eyed yet sultry. I'm taking my dome-shaped smudgy brush and that same deep taupey brown color and going underneath the eye. For this look, it's very exaggerated, so you really can layer it down lower than you normally would. Taking my dome-shaped smudgy brush, I'm applying this color to the outer corners of the eye and working it up towards the eyebrow and hairline. I'm taking a black liquid liner pen and just pressing it right up against the lash line. That way when we put our mascara on, it really has a deep look without having a big winged eyeliner. Lea has a very powerful brow, so I'm going to be using my gel brow color and create her same eyebrow shape. It's a little straight across the top and then very angled and arched at the outer corners. To make your eyebrows look a little thicker, you can use a brow gel color that looks like those lip gloss tubes but actually has like a little tiny mascara wand. This is like mascara for your lashes. It makes them look thicker and holds them in place. So for any girls out there that have thin brows, this is a great way to make them look thicker. Now it's time to curl our lashes, apply our primer, which is such an amazing base before you put your mascara on. It really does make them look thicker and longer. And then mascara. I put about 3 coats of mascara on the top and really worked on the lower lashes to bring my mascara downwards and then out to the sides on the outer corner. Lea's lashes look huge in this photo, so I took a full strip lash, put a little glue, and applied it right to the lash line. A trick for this is you want to grab the false lash and kind of pinch it down on top of your natural lash, pulling the strip lash down off of your skin and almost on top of where your lashes are growing out of your eyelid. And whenever you put false lashes on, always make sure that you take your mascara wand, wiggle it so that your natural lashes kind of get smashed and blended up into the false lash. This will help it blend in with the actual strip of false lashes. Lea has a really beautiful nude lip with a slight sheen. I'm taking a nude color lip liner and applying it all over the lips. This is going to give us a good solid color base. Then you can take a shade 1 or 2 shades darker than that nude color you picked and go a little on the outer corners and underneath to make your lip look a little fuller than normal. I'm taking a very sheer nude lip color that has a little bit of a glossy sheen to it and just applying it to the center of the lips with a lip brush. Lea Michele's Louder album art is moody and sultry, so it's time to head to the basement for some drama.
Getting tired of you leaving while I sit mistakes. When